Jim, another question from the Cult of Cornette Facebook group. This one was sent in by David Bromley. We get this one every few years. It always changes. If Jim started a promotion now, who would be
good Lord, shoot me.
Who would be the first 5 wrestlers he would sign before being shot?
All righty. God damn it. Braun Breaker. Because now we're talking about signing now and starting now, so Randy Orton would not be on my list because, he's closer to the end than the beginning. Some of these people, that you would think would be like, is he going to want this guy or that guy? Well, they might be too old to start right now.
Well, you want, obviously, a veteran or two. Well, he's only
yes,
5, so I guess one veteran, maybe at 5.
We're picking Braun Breaker, we're picking Cody, we're picking Gunther, we're picking Rhea Ripley. We're picking.
Are you wasting that pick? I love Rhea Ripley, but if you're not going to have a women's division, or if you're not going to, I mean, again, you're picking a woman in a spot of 5.
Well, I'm not going to start a promotion with 5 fucking people. But who's the
If anyone could do it, you could do it.
All right. Well,
I believe in you.
You know what? They used to have cards with 4 guys on the card, 2 singles matches and a tag team match, and that was enough for people.
Hey, why does that masked jobber have a tattoo on his neck? He looks familiar.
But no, you want Cody because he's the hottest babyface right now in the business. You want Braun Breaker because he's a future babyface or heel. You want Gunther because he's a tremendous heel right now, but people respect him. You want Rhea Ripley because she's a fucking movie star. And if you're going to have any women's wrestling, you feed all the other girls to her. And then now I'm just going blank on, because we do like other people. And I don't want to leave anybody out. MJF would be a consideration if we thought that we could make people forget the way he's been booked for the last few years.
Well, that's a good question, too, with MJF. If you know you have a wrestler who's still young, but also has desires outside of wrestling, if you could only pick 5 people, are you giving one of those spots to someone who may want to film a movie for half the year?
Well, but if I'm goddamn starting a promotion, there's going to be enough money involved that maybe he might not want to do that fucking movie, or maybe I might want him to do that movie if I think it's going to make him a bigger fucking star. But I wouldn't want him if, despite how fucking great he may be, if everybody in the world thought he was a fucking putz because he's been booked like an idiot. And fortunately, none of the 4 people that I just mentioned have suffered that fate. So I don't know about the 5th spot. Because if he's not coming to my mind immediately, then maybe there's something wrong.
All right, so it will be a 4-man card, ladies and gentlemen. That's confirmation.
Well, no, it won't be a 4. It'll be four people, 3 people,
3
and a
people
woman.
And a woman. That's right.
No, but I mean, who would you put? Who am I forgetting that we love and think has nothing but a bright future ahead?
See, that's the question. How much of a future do you need? If you're just trying to establish your company, you're not really worried about the wrestler's future. You're worried about the wrestlers now and tomorrow. I hate to say someone like this, it's a goofy pick, but like a Juice Robinson's the kind of guy that you look at and you say, if he was done differently.
Well, yeah, I know, and there would have to be more of those, because there would have to be 30 or 40 guys instead of, but who are the top 5, the first ones you'd go after without question?
I'll tell you what, since you took Rhea Ripley, I would take Bianca Belair. Just so I know I have another woman at that level in the ring with the fans in terms of how they're over, that I always have that to fall back on.
Well, in that case, then I'll take Charlotte.
All right, I'll take Greensboro.
Some people might say, why don't you take Roman Reigns? Well, he's already part-time to begin with, even though he's a little more part-time. But
that's a whole nother level of part-time right there.
Brock Lesnar. There's the thought that, boy, that would make an impact right off the bat.
Well, that's the other thing. If you're starting a promotion, hypothetically, the idea you're going to be running 6 days a week is ridiculous. You'd be based around.
Well, who are you to tell me what kind of schedule I'm going to run?
You're going to probably be based around big shows, and you need guys for big shows, even if, that means 12 times a year. That's all you need them for. So someone like Lesnar isn't ridiculous. You don't have to worry about Raw.
Yeah. The Ric Flair Smoky Mountain Wrestling offer, just 10 grand a month for one show. Give me 12 a year. Only it would be more than 10 grand.
Thank God you had Smoky Mountain, like in the works. Otherwise, you would have been the Kentucky Colonel.
He loved that idea. We'll call you the Kentucky Colonel.
Were you going to dress like that?
Do you think if
in Rick's mind, based on what Rick said,
well,
yeah.
if Ric Flair told Vince McMahon, I want to bring Cornette in to make him my manager and call him the Kentucky Colonel, you think I wouldn't be dressed like Colonel Sanders with a bucket of fucking chicken?
Would Vince McMahon have done it, or would he have said Kentucky sounds too small time? Knowing how Vince is.
Well, but then he would have gone with the Colonel Tom Parker thing anyway. Much as they did with Robert Fuller in WCW a couple of years after that.
Which was an abrupt turn from when he showed up with slaves or whatever it was when Harlem Heat were brought in. That's how he was like, all of a sudden, here they are. They came out with chains and everything. They had to redo that gimmick pretty quickly. But I thank you for your question.
Yes, fellow.
Who are you? David.
Fellow question asker.
Mr. David.